Alright, happy Monday, guys. Here we go for another war video. This is war number 8. And in this one, we're up against STCAG. Agents of Stark, I believe, is what they're called. So, you guys can see by the plus minus there that, we're probably the favorites here. They banned Torch, Ghost, and Kingpin. Very interesting. I think that they were trying to eliminate some of the harder counters for hazard shifts, and so you would expect that they would have, a tough matchup on node 49, maybe path 9A. So I'll be on path 1 in section 1 with Apocalypse. I am taking this Storm X with Apocalypse just to get him fully ramped up, max out his genetic code, because again, I will be taking this Doctor Doom, another rank 4 Doctor Doom, as you guys can see, on node 26. Scary fight. And then I will be going up path 9, and I'm going to use Mole Man for both of these fights. You guys will see how good he is for that path. And then I'll be taking this Bishop on node 53 with my Red Hulk. So we're not going to be able to bring in Cable to get Apocalypse built up. That's okay. We are going to take both fights in section 1 with Apocalypse on the the masochism path. Again, he's great for masochism nodes. So this is our team here. We're going to slap on the attacker tactic just to help us in the Storm X fight because she will be gaining power. I'm a little bit concerned about that fight. But here we go. Dogs in the background. Not sure if you guys can hear them. They say hello. Alright, so Tigra, she's placed here primarily because she is a little annoying to Quake. Quake is a top counter to this node. With her double medium, she's, I can't Quake her, that's for sure. And then obviously, she commands a lot of the space on the map with her movements. They're really, really large, and, her SB2 seemingly never ends. It's just like a bunch of hits, and she'll just immediately get you cornered. So with the regen and thus the unblockable that she gets on this node from time to time, basically a defensive planner is banking on her cornering you and then throwing one of her special attacks and doing some serious damage. So Doom is I think probably the easiest counter to this fight. But again, it's not a fight that you really need to have a top counter for. We are going to hit into the block just to keep the spacing until that regen runs out, so she loses her passive unstoppable. You guys can see already, I touched my own wall there. So, she did her job pushing me. There I get clipped by the SB1. Apocalypse's health is huge. I don't have to worry about anything. I am using alternating combo enders to apply those wither debuffs that you guys can see. Just to mitigate Mystic Dispersion, which I don't know because I had Withers applied most of this fight, but I would presume in Masters most Mystic Defenders are going to have maximum Mystic Dispersion. So the plan is just to get to the SB2. We are able to get to the SB2. We don't get back up to 2 bars because we only have 1 genetic code. That's okay. 1 genetic code equals 1 prowess, obviously. Just get back to the SB2 and the fight is over. So, yeah, I made that one mistake early where I took an SP1. I think it was an SP1 or a heavy. But, no harm, no foul. Just going to cost me a little bit of a heal up there. And then we've got Mr. Negative. So this Mr. Negative fight, the way that he works is if either he or the other champ parries, he'll gain those 2 light energy that you see. And then when he's knocked down, he converts all of those lighter energy into dark energy and automatically applies a delirium debuff, or I think it's a delirium passive actually. You guys will see that happen here. It's delirium and it lasts for 0.8 seconds for each energy converted. So 4 seconds there, not really a big deal. Of course, I do take some hits there. But as long as you know how Mr. Fantastic goes, I think he's not too bad to fight. You just have to be ready for his Dark Energy and the Delirium. You can obviously bypass the Delirium by using a robot. They are immune to Delirium, or just a Psychic Shielding champ, a champ that's immune to reverse controls, like Professor X or whatever. So, pretty straightforward fight. Now I have 2 genetic code going into the Storm fight. I will automatically get +2 genetic code, or is it +2 or I think it's +3. No, I'll automatically get +2 genetic code at the start of the fight, since I'm fighting a mutant here. So in this fight, I will have 3 genetic codes, so maximum prowess on my end. And this is, I think, pretty decent placement. There are definitely some counters to this, but with high ground, you can't Quake it. She glances 60% of your basic attacks. Basic would be light attacks, medium attacks, and heavy attacks. So she's annoying to fight. But she can't glance specials. And then obviously it does have power snacks, so she's gaining power. And every bar of power that either of us eclipse before she's thrown a special attack, she gains a prowess. If she has 4 prowess, then her special attacks are unblockable. Her SP1 is not really an issue. I think most people are pretty comfortable evading the SP1. Her SP2, I've never seen anybody fully evade. So it can absolutely just destroy you. Here she has 4 prowess at an SP2. It would have been unblockable and done some insane damage. I do have an invulnerability boost on here. The plan was let's just push her to the SP3. We held the block to force her to heavy attack, and we're able to finish her off with the second SP2. So it worked out. I would never take that fight with Apocalypse without an invulnerability boost, just in case she decides to throw her SP2 and has 4 or more prowess, because it can one-shot you pretty easily. Okay, so you guys have seen me take this fight. I can't remember. I think this is my 4th time taking this fight at this point this season. It is, I think, one of the top meta placements with Ghost and Torch banned. If you aren't banning Ghost or Torch, I don't know if this is really the best place to put Dr. Doom. But without a dedicated counter to this node, and with Ghost and Torch banned, this Dr. Doom can absolutely destroy you. So, you guys know what I'm doing here. I take a couple blocked hits so I can build up Disorient Immunity. There we have Disorient Immunity. Stun Reflect is still up. Now it's gone, and it's never going to come back. It is a bug, and I believe that bug is it's purely because I am Disorient Immune. So, it is essentially only for Apocalypse. But look, we'll take it. And, if it does get fixed, which, I don't think that would be anywhere near the top of Kabam's priority list, but if it does get fixed, Apocalypse is still going to be the top option with Ghost and Torch banned. So we're applying Wither debuffs, which reduces ability power gain like Mystic Dispersion and, Kinetic Transfer and stuff like that, node power, by 20% apiece, so he's not going to be gaining any Mystic Dispersion power. In fact, it'll actually, I believe it reverses his Mystic Dispersion power. But, alright, we're going to end the fight with an SP2. Easy peasy. Alright, and then my next couple fights are with Mole Man. They're on path 9B, which is Hazard Shift, Shock, and Bleed. Mole Man is fully immune to Shock, and he will immediately shrug off Bleed debuffs unless he's fighting a mutant, in which case I think his chance to shrug is reduced to 30%. So, during the bleed phase, the bleed still will apply for that split second. So that void is still going to get a little bit of damage when I have those debuffs active. They'll just get instantly purified. So this node has one eye open. So you can stun here if you want, but if you do damage while the opponent is stunned, you'll be reflected that damage. So we're just going to use our Monster Mass. You guys can see I have 2 from Suicides. We're going to use that for Counterpunch. We're going to throw the SP1 just to gain more monster mass so that we can continue to counterpunch since we don't have any end with parry. So boom. Now we've activated Frenzy, which just means that our damage is going to be absolutely nutrageous. And we're going to throw this SB2 and it's going to end her. I mean, I think that she would have just bled out anyway, but yeah, very straightforward, simple fight. And the next fight is, I think it's going to be even faster because I can parry easily. In matchups where I just want to end the fight as quickly as possible, which is pretty much most matchups, and if I can stun, I like to play Mole Man to get to 10 monster mass, so that's suicides give you 2 monster mass, and then 2 parries and heavies, which gives you 4 monster mass apiece, gets you to 10, and then back off, counter punch to activate Frenzy. And there you guys see that I just missed timing on the parry, so I'm like, alright, screw it, whatever. We're just going to get to the SB2, and the damage for the SB2 is going to be hilarious. So we have guaranteed crits during Frenzy. We've got those humongous bleeds with the guaranteed crits, and we're just able to easily recycle our SB2 with the skill power boosts. So Mole Man is really ideal for that path, especially that first one with his counterpunch mechanic, because it has one eye open. He's great if you know the defender calls for it. You are going to see a lot of champs like Nova, you know, Ma, Thing, champs that kind of directly counter crits on that node, and that you know you don't. Where it's inconvenient to not be able to stun them and do damage. But American Chavez, totally fine. All right, so we're going to slap on the Horseman pre-fight for this matchup. We have an Archangel taking this Guardian fight, and then also that Domino up there with a Guidance to bypass the Limber there on that node. So we wanted to give that person the Horseman, plus I'm done using Apocalypse for this war anyway, so no reason not to do it. Okay, so this fight, I'm not going to be gaining power in this fight, so there's no reason for me to use Science Boosts, and I'm just going to be playing this fight completely stun immune. When I hit him, I'm giving him Prowess, not a big deal. It is stun, it does have stun reflect, it's stun reflect. And since I'm not going to be applying an Incinerate or a Poison, he'll be essentially stun immune. He'll be worse than stun immune for the entire fight. If I stun him, it will get reflected to me, and he will just be able to tee off on me. I do have 5 out of 5 Limber in this fight, and it's actually going to come into play here. I can't remember when it happens, but I think it's here. I think I try to punish. Nope. All right. So ideally, you don't want him to throw an SP1 because then he gets steady release, which anytime you're near him, you're gaining. Here it is. No shit. You're getting incinerated. There it is. All right, boom. I get parried. Stun reflected. Limber saves me. I still lose about a third of my health. Fortunately, at 10 heat charges, I have like massive energy resistance and physical resistance, so it's a pretty safe matchup. He'll never go unblockable in this fight unless he throws a special attack with, I think, 20 or more prowess, and I am comfortable fully dexing his SP2. I can't do that with his SP1, but again, you can just block his SP1, and ideally you would play him to not throw an SP1 at all, but sometimes he's going to throw it into your block regardless. That's just how it goes. So we get through the war clean. We ended up winning this war as well, which pushed us to 4-2 on the season, and it we're solidly in the first bracket of Master right now, which is nice. We're in the top 10. That's where we hope to finish. Anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Leave a like and a comment. If you're not subscribed and you want to get notified about these videos, just subscribe. And that is it. I'll see you in the next one.